Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, Election Day is weeks behind us, but the race for a seat in the state assembly is far from over. Torrance Memorial's Lundquist Tower is a project 7 years in the making. The task of moving into the new facility was no breeze either. Plus, Honda and Toyota add 2 new cars to the eco-friendly vehicle market. We get a look at the future of their fuel cell vehicles. And Louis Zamperini's inspirational story is ready to hit the silver screen. Meanwhile, the Torrance Rosefloat Association will be right on his historic hills New Year's Day. These stories and much more just seconds away. Your local news starts right now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. Weeks after the election, the race for the California State Assembly District 66 chair is far from over. When all precincts reported on the November 4th election day, David Hadley had a slight lead over incumbent Al Muratsuchi with 50.6% of the votes. Hadley's 2,300 vote lead has since dropped to just over 1,300 votes after a recent update of 54,000 ballots. A 6th vote count update on the race is scheduled for this week. The Registrar Recorder's Office is scheduled to certify those results on November 28th. Assemblyman Muratsuchi had previously withheld from conceding the race. He said with over 300,000 mail-in, damaged, and provisional ballots still being counted, he owed the voters the respect of waiting for every last ballot to be counted. Students at Manhattan Beach's Mira Costa High School were kept off campus this week after eerily social media threats. The statement, "If you go to Costa, you should watch out," was posted on the social media app Yik Yak, prompting school officials and Manhattan Beach PD to shut down the campus. After the first threat was found and police responded by searching the campus, another post appeared saying, "Nice try, Costa. Today was just a drill." Yik Yak allows users to broadcast messages anonymously to people within a 1.5-mile radius. It's been scrutinized as a regular site for cyberbullying, and anonymous threats on the mobile application have caused multiple campus shutdowns nationwide. The first suspect questioned by police was a young girl not enrolled in the school. In total, 5 threatening messages were posted November 17th and 18th, and the Mira Costa campus reopened on November 20th. Bad news for UC students and the parents sending them off to school. A University of California Regents Committee voted in favor of tuition hikes by as much as 28% over the next 5 years. The tuition hike debate raised student protest and even drew opposing arguments from the governor before the UC officials voted 7-2 in favor of an increase. The hike will end a 3-year freeze in which universities say they need more money to cover rising cost of pensions and salaries, to hire more faculty, and boost the number of California undergrads by 5,000. Governor Brown proposed an in-depth study of issues like getting students to graduate in 3 years, consolidating courses, and offering more online courses. With the approval, tuition could increase to more than $15,000 a year by 2019 to 2020. And a star-studded event down under brought honor and remembrance to one of Torrance's hometown heroes. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt made their red carpet debut in Sydney, Australia for the world premiere of Universal's Unbroken. The 39-year-old actress, producer, and director got emotional talking with the press about directing the film. Based on the best-selling 2010 book Unbroken, a World War II story of survival, resilience, and redemption by author Laura Hillenbrand, the film tells the harrowing story of Louis Zamperini's brutal internment in a Japanese prison camp during World War II. The movie was shot entirely in the Australian states of New South Wales and Queensland to the tune of about $20 million. Unbroken begins a slow international rollout with a U.S. release on Christmas Day. Zamperini passed away this summer at the age of 97 after a month-long battle with pneumonia. Speaking of inspiring stories, that's the theme of the 2015 Rose Parade. Despite Zamperini's passing this year, he'll still be honored in the New Year's Day event as the Grand Marshal, and it was announced recently that Torrance's float will be riding right behind the Grand Marshal's car. The Torrance Rosefloat Association's theme for the parade is a race well run, which will pay tribute to the former Olympian and Torrance hero. Photos of the float as it nears completion can be found on the association's Facebook page, as well as TorranceRosefloat.com. This month, the city of Torrance celebrated a big birthday for another local war hero. November 14th would have marked the 95th birthday of Ted Tanaway, a Torrance native and Japanese-American soldier in the U.S. Army who posthumously received the Congressional Medal of Honor, the highest acknowledgement of bravery for his actions in World War II. Tanaway's family was sent to internment camps in the early 1940s, where he narrowly escaped being sent after enlisting in the U.S. Army. He joined the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, a unit made up primarily of Japanese-American soldiers. He died on the battlefield in Italy in 1944, 2 months shy of his 25th birthday. Tanaway is the only recipient of the Medal of Honor from the city of Torrance. In addition, he received numerous awards posthumously, including the Bronze Star, Purple Heart, and the World War II Victory Medal. Tanaway graduated with the Torrance High School class of '38. In 2004, a stone and bronze memorial was dedicated in Triangle Park, located just across the street from his alma mater. Torrance City Council voted in favor of a new ambulance provider at the November 18th City Council meeting. McCormick Ambulance will be Torrance's new ambulance provider after a 4-3 council vote approved the switch from Gerber Ambulance. A competitive bid process of the companies was held by a 4-person committee, with McCormick holding the highest overall score and earning a staff recommendation. 8 companies were reviewed in the process, with McCormick being the only one to meet the city's requirement of an 8-minute emergency response time. The new bid is a 1-year contract with an option to the city to extend that contract for 4 additional years. Los Angeles will be the center of the auto industry universe during the LA Auto Show. As always, technology is taking center stage. Honda and Toyota are using the event to introduce 2 new hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. Toyota's Mirai, a Japanese word for future, will come to the U.S. in 2015. It's a 4-door car with twin 60-liter hydrogen tanks and can be refueled in under 5 minutes. Meanwhile, Toyota will be supporting the creation and maintenance of hydrogen filling stations throughout the country. As for Honda, their FCV concept won't premiere until 2016. It will build on Honda's success with the FCX Clarity fuel cell vehicle, including upgrades like strategic placement of the fuel cell and even a 33% smaller fuel cell than their current outgoing model. Both cars will be capable of the power takeoff functions that can be used to provide household electricity for up to a week. Be sure to check back with us next week when our Julie Chan gives us a more in-depth look from inside the LA Auto Show. Still ahead, Torrance Memorial's Lundquist Tower opens with the big task of moving patients into the 7-story facility. And Candy Cane Lane is one of Torrance's favorite holiday sites. How are residents looking to make their glowing homes a little more green this year? Welcome back, everybody. Torrance Memorial's new Lundquist Tower is now open, but more than just building a new tower, the project required major planning for the big moving day. Laura Fong has that story.
I just can't believe it. This is so big now. When I started, 1983, the volunteers, there's nothing. It's all around. There's only one building.
Terry Chang, a 30-year volunteer at Torrance Memorial, remembers when there was nothing but dirt where the brand new 7-story Lundquist Tower now stands.
This is like a dream. I just came in this new building just right now, the first time. I almost cried.
It was a historic day at Torrance Memorial as dozens of patients were moved one by one into the brand new Lundquist Tower. And like its design, made with the patients in mind, so too was the move, as each patient's journey was carefully planned to ensure their safety and comfort.
We've been meeting monthly, weekly, daily, basically in terms of really making sure that we have a very safe and seamless process to get our...
Peggy Burwald, the Senior Vice President of Patient Services at Torrance Memorial, says the move was thought out and well planned. What she didn't plan for was how emotional it'd be to say goodbye to the existing tower.
It's interesting because I went around and made rounds on all the floors yesterday, and people were saying, we put banners up. On the banners, people would put things like, this is my first job, I've been here 30 years, this is my second home. So it's pretty emotional for everyone.
This is an exciting day for us. We've been waiting for this day for 7 years.
CEO and president of Torrance Memorial, Craig Leach, was one of the 1,000 staff members and volunteers on hand to move 162 patients during the 12-hour move-in day.
I am so excited for the community. We had a dedication back in September, and the day before the dedication, we opened the building up to the community. At 5:30 that morning, there was a line out the door, and it went a couple of hundred people long, and that shows me how people are looking forward to this new building opening.
And while today's patients are the first to experience the brand new building,
being one of the pioneers, I guess, to be one of the first patients here. So it's a pretty special feeling.
patients like Myron Brown and Chang are only the beginning for the Lundquist Tower.
I'm lucky to know this hospital all these years.
For Torrance City Cable, I'm Laura Fong.
Thanks, Laura. Altogether, the new tower has 256 private patient rooms that are 30% larger than the rooms in the existing hospital. You can learn more about the state-of-the-art facility at torrancememorial.org. Everybody who is excited to celebrate the holidays with a visit to Candy Cane Lane will be seeing more green this year. Laura Fong joins Torrance residents as they get their eco-friendly decorations untangled.
We have, hundreds of thousands of lights down in our neighborhood.
Now in her 6th year, Cindy Hall will light up the holidays once again in her neighborhood famously known as Candy Cane Lane while promoting a greener way to participate in this special tradition.
So it's great to be able to decorate and give back to the community, but it's also good to be green.
Merry, bright, and green. Here at the South Bay City's Council of Governments, customers came in to trade in their old-fashioned lights for a string of energy-efficient lights that uses 65% less energy. Thanks to the annual Holiday Light Exchange, Hall's been able to exchange nearly a dozen of her old energy-guzzling lights for LED lights.
It's really important that we start going more green because there is so much electricity being used to generate this atmosphere, this environment of Candy Cane Lane.
Oh my goodness, we've done thousands of kilowatt hours of savings over the years.
Marilyn Lyon is an environmental service analyst for SBC COG. For 2 days, she and volunteers gave Southern California Edison and DWP customers one new strand of LED lights for their old ones. This year, they handed out 250 Energy Star certified lights and collected more than 300 old lights to recycle.
We only have one planet to live on, so it's important that we take care of it. So we teach people what to do, what makes sense. It's good for your pocketbook and the earth.
Lyon was happy to see many people back for another year exchanging their lights like Hall and even Torrance Councilman Mike Griffiths. But she was also glad to see new faces like first-time participant Hattie Madala.
It's very, very minute that the electricity bill is compared to other things. So we don't care about that one unless we see this kind of, oh yes, this is really a good thing for the environment, for the house, for the energy and everything. So this is really a good thing to get people motivated.
For Torrance City Cable, I'm Laura Fong.
Thanks, Laura. If you're interested in other programs to save energy, water, and even money, you can visit sbesc.com. Well, the holidays were in full swing at the Torrance Historical Society's Thanks for Giving party. Every other year, the Historical Society holds the event to say thank you to all the donors and members of the community that contribute to the Historic Homes Tour. It's a tradition that started in 1979, held in the Torrance Historical Society's museum. The organization includes approximately 100 volunteers with 10 to 15 people that regularly work in the museum and help with home tours. In 1979, Janet Payne wanted to know more about the streets she was living on, so she went to the Torrance Historical Society for answers, and she says she's been hooked ever since.
The tour that we have every other year, it's really about community. We raise money and we get people enthusiastic about coming in and visiting the homes, but it's about community and what the lives were like and what the homes were like and how people all work together.
The museum is open on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 4 as well as Sundays. It was a big night for American Honda as they were recognized for their contributions to the community at the annual Eddie Awards put on by the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation. Laura Fong tells us how Honda has made a big impact over the years, especially in Torrance.
Well, when the word first came, we, kind of understanding the impact of it, and the more it started to soak in, everybody really got ginned up about it.
A huge honor for American Honda at the 19th Annual Eddie Awards, which celebrates economic development in LA County. Executive Vice President for the Automotive Division, John Mendel, accepted the award on behalf of Honda.
It's really special for us because we've always felt we were kind of a fabric of the community and have moved now from guest to really part of the community as a business, and we're very proud of that.
Honda opened their North American headquarters in LA back in 1959 and eventually moved to Torrance in 1990. They've grown to be a household name known for their technology and reliability, and they now employ some 2,000 associates throughout LA County.
When I think of our corporate honoree tonight, Honda, I think of the great jobs they've created here in LA County and how they've contributed to our economic growth through their innovation.
Innovations like their low-emission vehicles in the 90s and now their hybrid and plug-in cars. Lauren Markle, the Director of Marketing and Public Relations for the LA EDC, tells us why Honda was picked.
And they're investing here and they're continuing to look to the future in LA County and staying here. And for us, that means an awful lot. And they've created thousands of jobs here in LA County and contributed to a lot of quality of life here for everybody, I think, in LA County.
Honda has revolutionized the auto industry in America, and they've always built products with the customer in mind. And tonight they were honored for their contributions to the community, and they've especially made a big impact in Torrance. Mayor Patrick Fury came out to the Beverly Hills Hotel to show his support. He was one of more than 600 people in attendance.
They just do it because that is their corporate mentality, to be good corporate citizens, be good corporate partners.
The LA EDC hosts the Eddie Awards annually to recognize and thank individuals and organizations like Honda who are investing in LA County. And Mendel says this award will only push Honda to work harder.
It really pushes us, as our customers do, every day to do better and better and better. And I think that that's probably part of this challenging spirit of Honda in terms of making your last great accomplishment the new benchmark now that you need to exceed.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Laura Fong.
Thank you, Laura. The other honorees from the night include Anthony Pritzker, a venture capitalist, and the cities of Glendora and Glendale were recognized as most business-friendly cities. Torrance PD held their free Seniors Don't Get Scammed class, teaching residents how to protect themselves from the latest online scams. This was the last of 3 yearly classes the department provides, with well over 100 people coming to the Katie Geisert Library. Seniors learned about internet safety and, of course, had some lessons geared towards scams typically occurring in the holiday season. Torrance PD says people claiming to be from the IRS and asking for personal information is one of the most common scams they've encountered recently. Some seniors express noticing red flags when credit card information is requested. As for George Nakano, he received a suspicious text message informing him of an inheritance. That motivated him to come to the seminar after seeing a flyer for it just a few days earlier.
I think it's more focused on seniors because they're less sophisticated and familiar about like email and some of the devices that's being used to hook the seniors to become a victim of all these kind of crimes.
Definitely involved a son or a daughter or some loved one that you completely trust to verify or help you in any decisions that you have to do when it comes to having someone that's not associated with your family help you in any capacity.
Members of the community gathered for the grand opening of the Destination Art Gallery in Old Torrance. Destination Art is a nonprofit organization for art lovers to explore and learn more about the artists of the South Bay. Their new gallery is described as a first-class venue for fine artists and artisans to work, teach, and exhibit. The gallery is a collaborative effort of 24 local artists who came up with the idea 16 months ago. The event included their work on display, with many pieces being auctioned off to raise money for the new downtown location.
I think this is really another revitalization of downtown Old Torrance, which is what we've all been aiming for. And on top of that, it puts the C in our community, the culture.
Destination Art is located on 213th Street near Cabrillo Avenue, just behind the Depot Restaurant in downtown Torrance. Still ahead, the holiday shopping heats up right after Thanksgiving. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. With the holidays on the horizon, the Chamber of Commerce-sponsored Small Business Week began Saturday, November 29th until Sunday, December 7th. Select businesses around Torrance will offer discounts during the first week of December to inspire people to shop at local small businesses. The idea is built on the philosophy that every dollar spent in one of Torrance's small businesses stays local, while buying from larger retailers could send your money anywhere. In 2010, American Express founded Small Business Saturday, taking place the day after Black Friday, with the Torrance Chamber expanding on the idea by observing an entire week. A Torrance City Councilman says it's about more than just money. The opportunity to support local businesses creates personal connections that are harder to make at larger chain stores. To find discounts and see which businesses are participating this year, visit torrancechamber.org. Now we hope you have a pen and paper handy. Here's a few more noteworthy events to tell you all about. Don't forget, you still have just a few more days to sign up for the 35th Annual Turkey Trot 3-mile fun run before registration fees go up. The event takes place on Thanksgiving morning, Thursday, November 27th at 8 a.m. Runners and walkers of all abilities are encouraged to register now. Late registration will begin on Wednesday, November 26th at the Ken Miller Recreation Center at 3341 Torrance Boulevard from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on race day from 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. in the Sam's Club parking located on Sky Park Drive between Crenshaw and Madison for $35. Participants will receive a commemorative sweatshirt. There will be post-run opportunity drawings with lots of great prizes. For more information, please call 310-618-2930. Sunday, December 14th is the Christmas Celebrations Holiday Concert for Los Consejeros Master Chorale. They'll ring in the season with some classical works from Bach, Mozart, Vivaldi, and many more. You can email or call for tickets in advance. The Master Chorale presents school scholarships to gifted young singers and instrumentalists every year, and this holiday concert will feature a current honoree from the chorale. Now on to local sports. Let's check in with the talented Juan Hernandez from the Sports Desk studio for the latest. Juan?
Thanks for checking in on the Sports Desk. On this week's show, we have some very entertaining post-game sound from a prep football coach. His team kicks off the first round of the CIF playoffs. Now, can they build on a perfect regular season, or was 10-0 the pinnacle of their year? That story and highlights from the game at 4 and 9:30 on CitiCABLE. We'll see you there.
Thanks, Juan. That does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.